Days of Our Lives. 2-week spoilers for March 30th, April 10th, 26 present. Johnny DiMera begging and Stephanie Johnson torn. On Monday, March 30th, Johnny and Chanel Dupree DiMera head home after that stressful hearing where Sophia Choi tried to make sure they couldn't take Trey and EJ DiMera save the day. I wonder if Johnny and Chanel are going to head straight home or do the party and then head home. And I wonder if EJ is going to wrangle an invite since he saved the day in the adoption deal. Belle Brady encourages sad Marlena Evans that she was in the right and to just forget what Kristen DiMera said about her and Rachel Black and her not getting to see her. And I wonder if Marlena may tell Belle what they think Rachel did with Holly Jonas's supplements. Meanwhile, Rachel is getting grilled by her dad, Brady Black, who says he knows that Rachel put her psych meds in the bottle of pills for Holly. And of course, Rachel's going to freak out, deny it, and throw Sophia under the bus with both hands, as she should. Holly and Tate Black start to connect the dots on what happened after Brady tells Holly that Rachel said that Sophia is the one who gave her the pills to give to Holly, which makes a lot more sense because Rachel's fine, and she's got all of her medication that she can show her dad. Tuesday, March 31st, Alex Kyriakis and Jeremy Horton face some taunts from Rotten Owen Kent. And I wonder if he's going to tell Alex that Stephanie kissed him and was really into it. And he may tell Alex that Stephanie was holding hands with Jeremy, just anything to cause chaos. Kate Roberts duped her step-grandson Johnny when she tricked him into publishing Bonnie Kyriakis' knockoff of One Stormy Night. A copyright lawsuit could really do some damage to DiMera. But I wonder if Johnny's going to realize he was set up by people that he thought he could trust. Unfortunately, those people are desperate. Philip Kyriakis confides in Gabby Hernandez, and I wonder if he'll tell her that his mom, Kate, tricked Johnny with Bonnie's book deal. Sophia's mom, Amy Choi, begs Sophia to please stay home and out of trouble, but instead she wants to rub it in people's faces that she's out. She wants to see for herself in person what damage she did to Holly, because she thinks that damage is ongoing. So this week, Sophia trots over to the Brady pub and says hey to Tate and Holly, who look stunned to see her on the loose, especially since they should know by then what she did with the supplements. We're also going to have Aaron Green back this week for some scenes. Chanel listens as Stephanie confides in her, and I wonder if Chanel is going to learn about the trauma bond and Stephanie's evolving thoughts about Jeremy. Wednesday, April 1st. Kristen tears into Sophia. Of course, Kristen's livid and looking for anybody to blame but herself for Rachel being sent back to Bayview. But to be fair, Sophia is a big part of why Rachel was sent back to Bayview. If not for Sophia's actions, that have had everybody assuming that Rachel drugged Holly, then Marlena might not have told the judge she thinks Rachel needs back inpatient at Bayview. And Marlena's testimony seemed to carry a lot of weight in the hearing. Tate and Holly feel absolutely vindicated once they learn Sophia's behind her drugging. I wonder if Holly may consider going to the cops, but Tate and Brady may not want that because Rachel would get dragged into it, and she might wind up in juvie instead of Bayview. Gwen Rizchek updates EJ about Dimitri von Luschner DiMera. Of course, he's suspected in Vivian Alamane's death, and I wonder if EJ is going to take credit for two birds with one stone offing Vivian to punish her for the DiMera kidnappings and effectively neutralizing Dimitri, who looks like the culprit. Honestly though, I doubt Vivian is dead. I also doubt Stefan DiMera's dead. Also this week, EJ shows Theo Carver that his mom, Lexi Carver, is alive and Theo is stunned on Days of Our Lives. Xander Kyriakis Cook has a hard time being around Sarah Horton right now. Xander still loves her, and it's really difficult for him that she's moving on with Brady. On Thursday, April 2nd, Justin Kyriakis tries to get Bonnie to see the truth that her book was not just inspired by Stephanie's, but lifted heavily from it. And I wonder if Justin will warn Bonnie that she committed copyright infringement. Now, I don't think she did it on purpose, but she did it. So this week she asked Justin what he thinks about her book, and he tells Bonnie that One Rainy Afternoon, or yeah, I think that's what it's called, One Rainy Afternoon, reminds him a lot of Stephanie's One Stormy Night. But it looks like it's too late because DiMera is committed. The books are printed, and it's about to get ugly. Philip needs a favor from Maggie Kyriakis. So we have Philip telling Maggie that Bonnie screwed up in a big way, and her mistake could save Titan. Philip tells Maggie they can't afford the next loan payment and could lose the mansion, but damages from DiMera could bail them out. But that means putting Bonnie out to hang dry. So, we'll see. Also, Gabby and Theo talk business, and I wonder if Gabby makes Theo an offer to bring Gabby Chic back to DiMera for a hefty payout. You know, her guilt may have her wanting to bail out Philip and Titan. And since Theo is hardcore crushing on Gabby, he may do it just to have her working under him, and so Theo can see her every day. Johnny wants EJ to do him another favor, and I'm sure he'd jump at the offer. And it may be about repping DiMera in the copyright infringement mess. Plus, even if Johnny wasn't asking, or even if he was begging, I mean, EJ has a personal motive to want to save DiMera from a huge, messy lawsuit and a big payout to Titan. Chanel questions Paulina Price, and I wonder if Chanel's asking why Paulina has been so off-kilter lately. We'll see if she comes clean on the Lexi thing, because Paulina really needs somebody to talk to. Friday, April 3rd, Sean Douglas Brady turns down Belle's offer to caretake him during his recovery, and she is hurt. But looks like Sean's going to go stay with Jada Hunter, and from there, sparks should fly for the two of them. Steve Johnson apologizes to Jeremy, and it is overdue. Jeremy saved Stephanie, and Steve knows Jeremy really stepped up at great personal risk to save his daughter. Stephanie faces off with Owen. So this week, Stephanie demands to see Owen alone, and she closes the blinds on Steve and Alex so she can talk to her kidnapper in the interrogation room one-on-one. Jada cuffs Owen to a chair and leaves Stephanie to it. Leo Stark's writing reflects his broken heart, and Julie Williams wants J.J. Devereaux to get therapy for ongoing PTSD, and comforts him when he's really upset over failing to shoot somebody when he should have, and his guilt over Sean getting shot as a result. The week of April 6th through the 10th, Theo's voice and presence may be what finally wakes his mom Lexi up. So we could get an Easter miracle, a little resurrection action, which is, kind of dodgy in a way, just in terms of timing and religious strangeness. Bonnie and DiMera Enterprises face that copyright infringement suit. We'll see if anything can save Johnny from being called out for poor judgment. Alex is bothered by Stephanie's newfound closeness to Jeremy. Kat Green and Rafe Hernandez continue to dig into the secret lab. Everybody's dying to know who was in the person pod, but the truth is about to come out about Lexi. We're going to see a new Ariana Horton soon, and she's going to find out that Liam Selegico lied to her, which could be a deal-breaker. Plus, Ariana and Holly should reconcile after the pill swap. Truth is out. Gwen and Leo continue to spar. Dimitri isn't gone for good. We should see more of him with Andrew Donovan dealing with the Vivian murder accusations. Look for Sean to settle in at Jada's, and them to get really comfortable. I don't know if Theo is going to be jealous. I don't think so. He may see it as a convenient time to cut bait and go chase Gabby. Recent updates to Days of Our Lives closing credits have caught the attention of viewers. Some notable cast changes appear to be underway. According to longtime show historian Jason Seven on the Daytime Royalty Forum, the March 30th episode reflected the removal of 3 actors from the contract section. They are Marissa Reyes, Galen Gehring, and Aaliyah Cantu. Reyes recently wrapped her run as Ariana Horton. Gehring and Cantu remain part of the show but have shifted to the recurring cast category. This change does not necessarily signal an exit. The recurring characters often continue to appear based on storyline needs. A show spokesperson talked to Soap Opera Digest on March 30th, 2026. They said that both Rafe and Jada are still in Salem. Given the show's advanced taping schedule, such updates reflect decisions made months earlier, leaving fans to watch closely for any impact on current storylines. The latest episode of Days of Our Lives has brought noticeable updates to its closing credits, signaling a shift in cast status. Viewers spotted that Marissa Reyes, Galen Gehring, and Aaliyah Cantu were no longer listed under the contract section. Reyes's removal follows her recent exit as Ariana Horton. On March 24th, 2026, Reyes shared on her Instagram, "It has been an absolute honor to be a part of such a legacy, and I am overwhelmed with gratitude for what this opportunity has taught and given me. Although it was my choice, and mine alone, to make my exit from the show, I will always look back on this chapter with complete and honest gratitude and affection. It's bittersweet to see the end of this chapter, but I am over the moon excited to welcome in the next. Here's to what's coming. Meanwhile, Gehring and Cantu have transitioned to the recurring category instead of just leaving the show. A spokesperson for the show told Soap Opera Digest, "We never comment on actor contract status, but rest assured, Rafe and Jada are still in Salem. This distinction is important. Recurring characters continue to appear, but without the guarantees tied to contract roles. Both Rafe and Jada remain active in Salem. They are still part of ongoing storylines and continue working together on screen." The update reflects decisions made months ago. The show tapes far in advance, meaning these credit changes date back nearly a year. For now, there is no confirmation of reduced screen time or exit plans. Instead, the shift suggests flexibility in how the characters may be used moving forward. Galen Gehring's Rafe Hernandez has been a steady presence in Days of Our Lives for years. He serves as a dedicated cop and often takes the lead on major investigations in Salem. His work has put him in dangerous situations more than once. He is known for following his instincts and protecting the people he cares about. Aaliyah Cantu's Jada Hunter joined the force with a strong sense of duty. She quickly proved herself as a capable officer. Her path crossed with Rafe's through work, and the two grew close over time. Their shared cases and long hours brought them together. Rafe and Jada eventually became a couple. Their relationship had a few complications because of trust and past secrets. Their personal and professional lines blurred. They later chose to part ways. Despite the breakup, they remained respectful toward each other. Now they continue to work side by side. Their history still lingers, even as they move forward separately. The latest Days of Our Lives episode has sparked major speculation among fans, leaving them wondering about the fate of two beloved characters. Longtime DOOL actor Galen Gehring, who portrays Rafe Hernandez, and Aaliyah Cantu, who plays Jada Hunter, have both seen their names removed from the contract section of the show's credits. Is this the end of their time in Salem? Fans were shocked when the credits for the March 30th episode of Days of Our Lives revealed the removal of Galen Gehring and Aaliyah Cantu from their usual contract status. While the two stars still appear in the recurring credits, their demotion to this section has left many wondering if the writers are preparing to say goodbye to their characters. A spokesperson from the show remained tight-lipped on the issue, stating, "We never comment on actor contract status, but rest assured, Rafe and Jada are still in Salem. Going off contract doesn't necessarily mean the end for a character. Days of Our Lives has a long history of recurring players, such as Brandon Beamer and Casey Moss, who rotate in and out of the show. However, fans can't help but feel uneasy as Gehring and Cantu's status changes. Their characters have had a rocky path, especially with Rafe and Jada's recent breakup, leaving viewers to wonder if their romantic futures, or lack thereof, will keep them grounded in Salem. Galen Gehring first made his DOOL debut in 2008, following his successful run as Luis Lopez Fitzgerald on Passions. Despite speculation that he might leave in 2020, Gehring made a surprise return after the COVID-19 pandemic hiatus, signaling his continued role in the show. Meanwhile, Aaliyah Cantu, who joined in 2022, has proven herself as a standout addition to the Days cast. Yet, with both characters not involved in major storylines lately, it's unclear if the producers have bigger plans or if these fan favorites are simply being phased out. While the recent contract shift is undeniably curious, neither character is currently in a relationship, and both continue to work together in their law enforcement roles. This could signal that there's more to their story yet to unfold, or it could simply mean that Rafe and Jada are being put on the back burner for now. For Days of Our Lives fans, the uncertainty surrounding the status of Galen Gehring and Aaliyah Cantu's characters has certainly raised eyebrows. Whether they stay or go, the drama in Salem continues to keep everyone on edge. Stay tuned for more updates and follow Soap Opera Daily for the latest Days of Our Lives casting news. The Days of Our Lives cast changes just keep coming. According to the closing credits and longtime Days insider Jason47, both Aaliyah Cantu and Galen Gehring have been bumped from contract status down to recurring. For those who follow Days, Jason, 47, is a trusted source. He's been tracking the show for years and runs a detailed site dedicated to cast history, episode guides, and more. This update comes right after news broke that Sophia Mattsson is joining the show in a mystery role. She won't appear on screen until 2027, though, since Days of Our Lives films so far in advance. As for Cantu and Gehring, both have had solid runs on the show. Elia Cantu joined Days in July 2022 as Detective Jada Hunter. Since then, her character has climbed the ranks and is currently serving as Salem's police commissioner. Galen Gehring, on the other hand, has been part of the show for a long time. He debuted back in October 2008 as Rafe Hernandez, an FBI agent, shortly after his time on Passions. He's been on contract ever since, making this a pretty notable shift. So what does this change really mean? Moving from contract to recurring usually means the characters will appear less frequently. They're still part of the canvas, but they won't be on screen as consistently. It doesn't necessarily mean either character is leaving, but it does suggest a shift in focus for the show. And with all the recent casting changes, it's clear Days of Our Lives is in a bit of a transition period right now. How do you feel about Elia Cantu and Galen Gehring being bumped to recurring? Here's what's coming up on Days of Our Lives for Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. Fans can expect Tate and Holly to feel vindicated, and more. Read on. Let Soap Opera News break it down for you. It looks like Holly Jonas and Tate Black are finally getting a win. According to spoilers, the two will feel vindicated after the truth finally comes out. They knew something wasn't right when Holly started acting out after taking those pills, and they suspected Rachel Black had something to do with it. Turns out, they weren't completely wrong. But they weren't completely right either. Rachel confessed to Brady that Sophia Choi gave her the pills and told her to give them to Holly. So when Holly and Tate learn the full story, it finally clicks. And yeah, they feel justified. Meanwhile, things get tense for Sophia. Because, let's be real, no one wants to cross Kristen DiMera. She doesn't hold back, and she definitely doesn't forget. We've seen what she's capable of when she feels crossed. And dragging Rachel into this scheme? That's not going to sit well. Spoilers say Kristen absolutely rips into Sophia, and honestly, that's one confrontation you don't want to be on the wrong side of. Elsewhere, Gwen Rizchek brings E.J. DiMera some news about Dimitri von Leuschner. Is it good news or bad news? We will see. Over with Xander. Days spoilers for April 1st say things aren't exactly easy. He might be spending time with Gwen right now, but being around Sarah Horton is still a struggle. Feelings don't just disappear overnight, and this situation is proving that. That's all for Days of Our Lives spoilers for April 1st, 2026. Which storyline are you most excited for? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check out the DOOL spoilers for even more drama coming to Peacock. Days spoilers for April 1 reveal that Kristen rips into Sophia, Gwen brings EJ news about Dimitri, and more. According to spoilers, he struggles to be around Sarah Rogers shared the insight during an interview with Digital Journal's reporter Marcos Papadatos. When asked about the demands of working on a fast-paced soap like Days of Our Lives, Rogers said her current workload is lighter than expected. I don't usually have that many pages at the moment, perhaps 40 pages at most, but that hasn't been in a while, she shared. She explained that this can be common during writing transitions. Every time we get new writers come over, it takes them a while to get to know our characters and to write for us, Rogers said. Current Days of Our Lives co-head writers Paula Quickly and Jean Marie Ford have been overseeing episodes airing since April 2025. Swickly previously wrote for the soap from 2000 to 2003, while Ford has worked in various roles on the writing staff since 1982. Rogers noted that an actor's workload often depends on their involvement in current storylines. If they have a storyline and you are a part of it, that means that you are a part of that storyline, she explained. She pointed to Maggie's current storyline, which connects to her daughter Sarah and son-in-law Xander. Right now, Paul Telfer and Lindsay Godfrey have a great storyline, Rogers said. So they are working a lot, and I am on the peripheral. I'm her mother, and I'm his mother-in-law. And I'm there, but I don't work as much as I would if I were to have the main story. Rogers said she understands the cyclical nature of soap storytelling. "I always say that soaps are like a roller coaster. You know, you're up and you're down. You've got a story, and then you don't have a story, and that's just the way that soap operas operate," she explained. Salem is getting a new resident in Sophia Matson. The former General Hospital actress will be jumping networks to NBC's Days of Our Lives, the soap announced in a joint post shared to Instagram. "Sophia Matson is making her way to Salem early next year," ICE noted the official series account in the caption of a photo featuring Matson posing outside her dressing room. During the summer last year, Matson saw her arc as Sasha Gilmore Corbin, first introduced on the ABC Sudser in 2018, close out. In the episode featuring her departure, Sasha and her baby Daisy exit Port Charles safely with the help of Steve Burton's Jason Morgan, as she moves back in with her parents, Holly Sutton and Robert Scorpio, in Paris, France. Before Jason docks back in the US, he reminds Sasha that she will always have a home to come back to, leaving the door open for potential reprisals of the character in the future. At the time, a representative for GH told TV Insider it was a good time in the storyline for Sophia to leave to pursue other opportunities in film and TV. Meanwhile, the actress, who has also logged episodes of NCIS and 2.5 Men alongside over 500 installments of GH she's been in, noted she is definitely not opposed to coming back to the soap world, teasing at the time that she had some exciting new projects in the works. "So I hope to see everyone through another screen soon." Matson is expected to make her first appearance on Days in 27, though it is currently unclear who she will be portraying. She will join a formidable cast led by the inimitable Deidre Hall. Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Tuesday, March 31st, reveal some interesting moments in Salem. Stephanie Johnson will confide in Chanel Dupree, while a mother will hope her daughter listens, and someone pulls a dirty trick. Find out what's set to unravel on Tuesday's show, below. Read spoilers for the last episode of DOOL, Daddy-Daughter Clash, Relief, Reassurance. Read DOOL, spoilers for this week, Stephanie vs. Owen, Rachel Falsey. Accused Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Tuesday, March 31st. Hint that Stephanie will confide in Chanel. But what could this be about? Will Stephanie admit to the Sweet Bits baker that she may still have feelings for her ex-boyfriend, Jeremy Horton, after they were held hostage together? Stephanie's a married woman now, so she needs to be careful. Speaking of, Owen Kent will arrive back on the Salem scene and taunt not only Jeremy, but Alex Kyriakis as well. Across town, Kate Roberts Brady will be up to no good, and she'll do something underhanded that includes Johnny DiMera. She already encouraged Johnny to pick up Bonnie Kyriakis' One Stormy Afternoon novel while he was the CEO at DiMera Enterprises. She hoped that Titan could sue DiMera for plagiarism, as the book resembles One Stormy Night, a novel that Stephanie published under Titan. Either way, it sounds like this storyline will explode in the days ahead. In other news, Philip Kyriakis will open up to Gabby Hernandez. Lastly, Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Tuesday, suggest that Amy Choi will hope Sophia Choi stays close to home. Sophia has been released from Bayview, and now it's time to get on with her life. So will she decide to stay in Salem? She may want to head out of town, as it won't be long before Brady Black tries to bust her for switching Holly Jonas's supplements for mental health medication. Are you excited about Tuesday's show? Watch Days Daily to catch all the drama in Salem and visit this site often for the best Days of Our Lives news, spoilers, and updates. Love Days of Our Lives? Join our official Days of Our Lives Facebook group for daily spoilers, recaps, breaking news, and exclusive updates. Jump into lively discussions with fellow soap fans who love the drama as much as you do. Days of Our Lives spoilers photos for the April 1st, 26th episode tease Gwen and Xander hitting the sheets. Again. After Days of Our Lives spoilers for April 1st reveal that Xander will have a hard time being around Sarah, it looks like Gwen will help take his mind off his ex. Plus, what is EJ up to with Mark? Gwen likes what she sees. Is Xander taking it off or putting it on? Gwen and Xander share a kiss. Gwen and Xander do more than kiss. Xander makes a call. Kat joins Mark for breakfast. What does EJ have to say to Mark? Emmy award-winning actress Suzanne Rogers chatted about starring in the Peacock daytime drama Days of Our Lives, where she has played Maggie Horton for nearly 53 years. Having been on the show continuously since August 20th, 1973, Rogers is the longest-tenured actor on Days of Our Lives. First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." This quote applies to Suzanne Rogers. Rogers is drawn to playing Maggie for many reasons. Well, first of all, she's always sweet, Rogers said. Maggie is always there to help other people. Whenever people have problems, they come to her. I just like Maggie because I would like to meet somebody like her. She is just a nice person, Rogers added. On working with Paul Telfer and Lindsay Godfrey, Rogers said, "They are the absolute best. Lindsay is just like my daughter. We look at each other. We have the same brown eyes. We giggle and we laugh the same. The casting of Lindsay as my daughter was perfect. Paul is just so nice, sweet, and yummy," she said with a sweet laugh. "Paul is such a gentleman. There have been very few that I've come across that have been as nice as Paul." On working with Eric Martsolf, Rogers said, "Eric and I have known each other for so long. I was sitting at the table with him on the night he won his Emmy for Best Supporting Actor. I was so happy for him because we work so well together. We hit it off well. Eric is so talented and he sings like a dream. His wife, Lisa, is lovely too," she added. Rogers made history as the first person to ever win the Daytime Emmy Award for Best Supporting Actress in a Drama Series back in 1979. What a surprise! I was nominated the same year that Frances Reed was nominated too, and I thought for sure she would win, Rogers recalled. I mean, I just sat there. I was just happy to be in the audience. When they said my name, they said Susan Rogers, and the girl in front of me was Susan Brown from General Hospital. She turned around and said, "Congratulations." I looked at her and I went, "What?" She said, "You won." And I went, "Oh my God." I couldn't believe it because of the mix-up with the first name, Rogers elaborated. This daytime Emmy ceremony was in New York. The fact that Frances didn't win, and that I won over her, I was just shocked and surprised, but obviously thrilled, Rogers added. On the move of the show Days of Our Lives from NBC to Peacock, Rogers said, "Well, I hope the audience has Peacock. I know my sister doesn't have a smart TV. I just hope that there's enough people that can get Peacock. That's the only thing I worry about." "I think it's doing great as on Peacock," she said. "I mean, I really do. Listen, I'm just glad that we are still on the air. The best part is that there are no preemptions on Peacock. Isn't that wonderful?" So yeah, the audience can really get its fill of Days of Our Lives for sure, she added. Rogers opened up about playing a Greek character, Maggie Horton Kyriakis, being married to the iconic Victor Kyriakis. When Victor came along, my first husband, Mickey Horton, had died. When my character heard a knock on the back door of her kitchen, she answered it, and it was Victor Kyriakis. Maggie never really had scenes with Victor before because he was in a different echelon than she was in. Victor had brought her flowers. Those scenes were really well because the audience went crazy, she recalled. They agreed that it was a great matchup, so the powers that be put the two of us together. The fans even gave us a nickname, Magic, so that was terrific, she admitted. On working with the late John Aniston, Rogers said, "John was the nicest man, and he was always very giving. He always knew his job well, and he always came to work prepared. John was just lovely and really wonderful to work with. I miss him, I really do," she added. On working with Robert Scott Wilson, Rogers said, "Rob is the best. He is so sweet. I have such a great job. I work with the best-looking guys on the show. For being an older person, how lucky am I?" "Rob is just lovely and so sweet," Rogers admitted. "After we do our scenes, Rob comes up to me and he gives me a kiss and a big hug. We work so fast on our show and it's just great." For young and emerging actors, she said, "Listen, when you come into a show, you need to be there on time, and you need to know your work, and you need to listen to what the director says and be as conducive to working with other people. That's basically it." Frances Reed told me 3 things: be on time, do your work, and don't be late. It all just boils down to that, she added. When asked how she handles being dialogue-heavy, Rogers responded, I don't usually have that many pages at the moment. Perhaps 40 pages at most, but that hasn't been in a while. Every time we get new writers come over, it takes them a while to get to know our characters and to write for us, she noted. Also, it depends on whoever you are working with. If they have a storyline and you are a part of it, that means that you are a part of that storyline, she said. If you are not part of that storyline, then you don't work as much. You may work, but you may not have as much dialogue as you would if you had the main storyline, she noted. Right now, Paul Telfer and Lindsay Godfrey have a great storyline, so they are working a lot, and I am on the peripheral. I'm her mother and I'm his mother-in-law, and I'm there, but I don't work as much as I would if I were to have the main story, she explained. That's okay because soap operas are cyclical. I always say that soaps are like a roller coaster. You know, you're up and you're down, you've got a story, and then you don't have a story. And that's just the way that soap operas operate, she expanded. On being an actress in the digital age, Rogers said, Well, I'm not sure I understand very much of the digital age. I'm just glad that I'm a part of it, that's all. I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about it, she admitted. I'm sort of one of those people kicking and screaming into the 21st century, if you know what I'm saying. I think life right now is wonderful as far as all the things that have opened up to everyone, to make everyone available and accessible to everything that's going on, good, bad, or indifferent, she explained. On the title of the current chapter of her life, Rogers revealed, She did it. I came from a small town, and I went to the big town, she said. If Rogers were to have any superpower, it would be to make the world a happier place. On her career-defining moments, Rogers shared, When I won the Emmy for Best Supporting Actress, and also when I worked with Katharine Hepburn. Working with Katharine was thrilling, nerve-wracking, and shocking, and I couldn't believe I was on the same stage as this icon that I had watched in movies, and that I was actually standing right next to her, Rogers acknowledged. That was a turning point in my life. Katharine was also very professional. She wanted no talking on set. She wanted nobody standing in the wings. She had some rules that everybody had to follow, and that taught you what to do and what not to do as a professional, Rogers elaborated. Regarding her definition of the word success, Rogers said, I don't think I ever thought I would be where I am now. I mean, I came from a small town, and I never thought that I would be where I am now. I went to New York as a dancer, and I ended up in California as an actress, and I never thought that circle would happen, she noted.